Have you ever wondered how far $100 really goes? Well, that's what this video is about, and that's why you're here. In 1925, you could have bought almost 500 gallons of gas, and by 2075, the question is, will you even be able to buy a Snickers bar for $100? Today, we're diving into what's $100 worth, and in this video, we're going to be comparing 3 different generations of money, their cost of living, and then extending that out and predicting what 2075 could look like. This isn't just helpful to consider the past, it's critical to think about so that you can beat inflation and grow your money. Welcome to Money with Kevin, where we make money fun, simple, and worth chatting about. Let's get started. So you may have seen the word inflation in the news, but to give us a better idea of how it works, I'm going to start by taking the next 24 seconds to explain inflation in a way that's actually understandable. Picture 1 pizza and 4 friends. Everyone gets a big slice, right? Now picture 8 friends and still just 1 pizza. The slices get smaller, everybody gets a little bit less, and that's how inflation works. When there's money floating around or being printed, but the same amount of stuff goes out, like cars, gas, houses, your money is going to buy less. And over time, $100 simply won't go as far as it used to. Now, with that explanation out of the way, I hope you're ready to dive right in. And if you find this helpful, you're not going to want to miss the next video on how we're actually going to beat inflation through investing. All right, you ready? Let's hop into our time machine. Just kidding. I wish I had a time machine. That would be super cool. Nonetheless, first stop, 1925. The world's jazzy, music's loud, cars are new, and with $100 in your pocket, you, my friend, are feeling rich. To buy the same stuff today, you would need $1,829. That's how much prices have gone up. So let's check and compare 4 big things. In 1925, a gallon of gas cost only 22 cents. A year of college tuition at Stanford University was about $100, and a new car like a Ford Model T, that was about $260. A house was priced around $4,800. So with $100, you could buy 454 gallons of gas. You could pay for a full year of college at Stanford. You could buy the engine of a $260 car, or with $100 in 1925, you could buy a pretty luxurious front door on a $4,800 house. Back then, $100 went a long way. Next up, we've got 1975. Now disco's rocking and $100 still feels pretty great. To buy the same stuff today, you would need about $595 in today's money. And in 1975, gas was 57 cents a gallon. A year of in-state public college tuition was around $600, not including room and board. And a new car like Chevy Camaro would run you up about $4,200. A house will cost you $35,300 in 1975, and your $100, you could buy about 175 gallons of gas, a month of college classes for $600 a year, or about 3 tires for a $4,200 car. Maybe a few windows for your $35,000 house. Not as much as 1925, but still something. Moving forward, now we're in 2025 today. Your $100 buys some stuff, but by no means does it feel like a fortune. Since the year 2000, prices for many things have doubled. Your $100 is okay, but it doesn't go as far as in 1975, and definitely not 1925. Today, gas is about $3.37 a gallon in the US, and a year of in-state public college tuition will run you up about $11,000. A new car like a Toyota Corolla costs around $25,000, and a house is around $412,300. With that same $100 today, you can get about 29 gallons of gas, or maybe one used textbook out of $100 for an $11,000 college year. You might be able to get a spare tire for a $25,000 car, or for your $412,000 house, you can get a simple, not fancy toilet for about $100. It's not very much. Here's the interesting part. What if you didn't just hold on to that $100? What if you'd actually been investing it all along? See, investing is like planting a money seed and watching it grow into a huge tree. And if you invested $100 in 1925 into the stock market with an average return of 7% after inflation, it'd be worth over $1.15 million today. That's enough to buy a house or 46 Toyota Corollas. Watch out, Oprah. Also, if you were making $100 in 1925, by now Guinness World Records should be calling you for an interview because you would be well over 100 years. But that's why investing is super important. It keeps your money from shrinking. Inflation makes your dollars buy less, but investing, historically, has helped your money grow faster than inflation so that you can buy more stuff in years to come. Remember, that's what we'll dive into the next video, and you're not going to want to miss it. But before we dive into where prices are headed in 2075, here's a question for you. Where are you currently investing for the next 50 years to outpace inflation? I want you to drop it in the comments. I respond to everyone, and it could fuel investment ideas for others who might see your comment. All right, we're on to 2075. What could $100 be worth then? Obviously, nobody knows for sure, but we can figure some estimates using historical data. Inflation has grown prices about 2.5% a year based on U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data. And if that continues, by 2075, your $100 today will only buy you about $29 of what you could buy today. So here's what you could actually buy with $100 in 2075. At a 2.5% inflation rate, gas would cost you about $11.62 a gallon. A year of in-state public college tuition could hit upwards of $38,000 per year. A new car might cost you about $86,200, and an average house might cost upwards of $1.42 million. Your $100 in 2075 would buy just 8 gallons of gas at these prices, about 7 days worth of your favorite coffee on campus until you run out of your $100, paying nearly $38,000 a year for an in-state college tuition, and then you go back to being a broke college student. Or your $100 in 2075, you could likely find maybe a used side mirror for an $86,000 car, or a simple light fixture for a $1.4 million home. In other words, you're not going to be able to buy near as much. And honestly, it can be a little bit depressing. But here's the good news. If you invest that same $100 today and it grows at a modest 7% annual return after inflation, by 2075, that mere $100 could turn into over $2,900. That's a real difference. And if you can invest consistently today, instead of buying just a few gallons of gas in the future, now we're talking about affording a whole new car, not just the side mirror, or making a serious dent in tuition or even a home. Inflation eats away your money's value, but investing is how you fight back. It's not flashy. You save a little, you invest consistently, and you wait. But that's how people build real wealth over time. The sooner you start, the more time your money has to grow, and the less future you has to stress. So next time you're wondering what $100 can do, remember that in 2075, it'll likely be worth even less unless you invest wisely today. That's what we'll talk about in the next video, but today realize that you have a choice. You could fill up your gas tank for that road trip with friends, or invested, your $100 could become a future down payment, a semester of school, or even more. And if you want to know how you should be spending every paycheck that you get, check out the video I linked below and follow for more if you want smarter ways to stretch and grow your money. Until next time, work towards investing your money and at all costs avoid watching your hard-earned dollars become less thanks to inflation. We'll see you in the next video.